I got drunk and danced with my ex at my wedding. A sentence I never thought would define the exact moment my marriage ended before it even truly began. But here I am, replaying every second of that night in agonizing slow motion, wishing I could take it all back. The day had started perfectly. The late summer breeze off the lake in Madison, Wisconsin was cool and gentle. My dress fit better than it ever had during fittings. Everyone kept telling me I'd never looked more beautiful. My groom, the man who would be my husband for only a few heartbreaking hours, smiled at me like I was the only person on earth. In that moment, I honestly believed I was the luckiest woman alive. Then came the reception, and with it, my ex. He wasn't supposed to be there. He hadn't even been invited. My cousin, always too sentimental for his own good, decided it would be mature and healing if the guy I once loved showed up to offer his support. I didn't know a thing about it until he walked through the doors of the venue on the shore of Lake Monona, flashed that same crooked smile I hadn't seen in years, and came straight over to congratulate me. I should have asked him to leave. I should have kept my distance. I should have remembered that weddings, alcohol, and old feelings are a dangerous combination. But the wine kept flowing. Glass after glass pressed into my hand by cousins, bridesmaids, college friends. I barely ate. I barely sat. I floated from table to table, dizzy with excitement, nerves, and far too much champagne. Then the music shifted. It was our song, the one that used to be mine and my ex's. Only a handful of people even knew its meaning, but apparently one of them was running the DJ booth that night. When those opening notes played, something in my chest clenched. I froze mid-laugh. Of course he noticed. He always noticed. He stepped toward me, held out his hand, and said softly, "Just one dance, for old time's sake." I don't know what possessed me. Maybe I told myself it would mean nothing. Maybe I thought it would finally give me closure. Maybe I was simply drunk and stupid. I set my glass down, and before my brain could catch up, my fingers were in his. We moved onto the dance floor. People noticed immediately. Whispers, stares, wide eyes. My bridesmaids frantically tried to wave me off the floor. My cousin looked like he wanted the earth to swallow him whole. But I was too far gone. The room spun as my ex pulled me a little closer. It wasn't overtly romantic. He kept his hands appropriate. But it wasn't right. It wasn't respectful. And it definitely wasn't something a bride should do on her wedding day. While my husband watched from across the room. And he was watching. I caught his eye. He stood by the bar, drink untouched, face drained of color. No anger, no outburst. Just hollow, devastating disbelief that hurt worse than any shouting ever could. He didn't storm over. He didn't make a scene. He simply stared, quietly, turned, and walked out of the reception hall. The song wasn't even over yet. I snapped out of it the second he disappeared through the doors. My stomach dropped. The room tilted. I stumbled after him, nearly tripping over my train, pushing past guests who were already whispering my name like it was suddenly belonged to a scandal. He was in the parking lot, hands shaking as he tried to unlock his truck. "Please, wait. Listen to me," I slurred, grabbing his arm. He pulled away gently, like my touch physically hurt him. "You danced with him," he said. His voice wasn't loud. It wasn't even angry. It was empty. On our wedding day. "It meant nothing," I whispered, tears already falling. "I was drunk. It just happened." He shook his head, eyes red but dry. "Being drunk doesn't change who you are." It only reveals it. I don't love him. I married you. I love you. He looked at me for a long, agonizing moment. Then he said the words I will never forget. You didn't just embarrass me. You embarrassed us. You embarrassed our marriage before it even had a chance to start. I begged. I apologized. I promised it was the stupidest mistake of my life. He took one shaky breath and stepped back. I can forgive a lot of things, Brooke, but I can't be someone's second choice, not even for 3 minutes of one song. Then he got in the truck and drove away. Guests spilled outside. My parents, his siblings, friends, everyone asking what happened, where he went, why on earth I had danced with my ex. I had no answers. My ex vanished into the night, like he'd never been there. My bridesmaids cried with me. My mom sat me on a bench and tried to piece the disaster together. But nothing could fix it. An hour later, his brother pulled up and told me that my husband had gone to his parents' house in Middleton and wanted space, lots of it. The marriage was over before the ink on the license was dry. The next morning, I woke up hungover, heartbroken, and completely sober. I called him 100 times. He finally answered once. I don't hate you, he said quietly. I just don't see a future where I ever forget last night. And that was it. One dance. One stupid, drunken, nostalgic dance with a man who never should have been at my wedding in the first place. People will judge me, and they should. I made an unforgivable choice. I let champagne and old feelings destroy something beautiful, loyal, and real. My marriage didn't crumble after years of arguments or growing apart. It ended in less than 24 hours because, on the most important day of my life, I chose the wrong dance partner.